presume Bertrand wasn't in the squad last week. I know he's been training. What's the kind of situation there in terms of not playing this week? How is it this week?
Yeah, at the minute we have a full group, so had to make a decision last week. His trajectory was probably a bit different if we compare with Jocelyn and Nielsen, who were back as well. So it was a re-injury for Berto. So probably I needed more time to be comfortable with his selection. I had this conversation with him yesterday, and I was clear and honest. This week it was more consistent, I think. It's not easy to manage re-injury because you are the first one, and it was a new injury for him in a career. Sometimes you had an ankle injury, so you know exactly what is the timeline and so on. And for him, with his knee, it was totally new. And because it was a re-injury, I think it was important to be a bit more cautious. And this week was much better. Yeah.
Will it play into your thinking that obviously Nielsen and Jocelyn, you know, are going to be here as Sunderland plays next year, or is that just not on your?
No, it's. I told him that it's clear with you as well. Berto is, when he's available for selection, is playing for Sunderland, and until the last game, last day, is 100% aligned with the others. Yeah, it's clear.
Is there any other team news, any other doubts at the moment, or are you?
No. Yeah.
Watching the under-21s last night, Ahmed Abdullahi, whenever you watch him, he's got so many attributes that a lot of players don't have, his strength, his pace. I just wanted to get your thoughts on, we talked about him a lot, and has he been able to get that kind of block of training that he needs with you, and what you see as the kind of strategy for moving forward?
Yes, he's got abilities, that's obvious. He's really young as well, and got injuries this year and last season. So lack of consistency, and he struggled to find the right dynamic with the group. So probably he'll need different step to be able to step up in the Premier League. But we are still confident, and we trust his ability to become a great player.
Do you, when you say different step, do you think a low move?
Yeah, probably.
To play before you can consider it. I don't know if you saw Bertrand did an interview last week, and he said he'd asked you. He was really impressed by how you managed to stay calm. You're never shouting and something he wants to.
I need to balance him.
Yeah. He said that he might be something that he wants to learn for the future. What was your advice for Bertrand on how you managed to stay calm?
It's a privilege to coach a player like Granit Xhaka in a career, and he's so demanding with himself, and it creates a condition to be demanding with the others. It's not explicit, but for the players and for the coaching staff, for me, I think it lifts the standards. So it's a real pleasure and a real privilege, I repeat, to be the manager of this kind of player. And after that, the personalities are the personality. I think you have to stay authentic. Granit is emotional, is intense. I think when he will become manager, I don't know when. It's not a rush to make this decision. He'll have to respect his personality as well. So after that, obviously as a manager, you set the tone for the players. If you are too high, too low, becomes a problem, but you have to stay real and authentic, I think.
Just on the back of that, Regis, what Granit said about being so calm, do you ever lose your temper with the players?
Say it again, please.
Do you ever lose your temper with the players? Just on what Granit was
When I was younger, yes, and it was a big mistake.
Right, but not here, so never at Sunderland.
Not really now. I think when I feel something to say, it could be intense, especially on the pitch. Half-time sometimes, at the end of the game, once or twice this season. It's important to express and to stay authentic about your feelings, but it's also important to stay balanced, because you will have an influence for everyone. And the narrative, the collective narrative, this is my job. So if I go here or here and we need to stay balanced, I think so it could be a mistake. When I was younger, I experienced different situations, and I had to make mistakes to learn from these mistakes, and now it's getting better. Yeah.
Phil asked about Jocelyn there. Given his relative inexperience at this level, and the fact obviously he joined in January, you've got a few months now to look at him to see what he's about and how ready he is there any chance that he goes on loan in the summer and benefits from a full year, or is he very much part of your plans for the here and now?
Yeah, at the minute it's more the case. He's really inexperienced, and his previous culture was really short. Even in Israel, it was really a short experience. So talented with the attributes of a winger, and it's rare. After that, we'll have to decide a bit later about the starting lineup and the subs. We will have to adjust around the starters. And for winger, in general, the forwards, it's often easier to get minutes at the end of a game, so you can through a season progressively you can get more experiences without starting games, which is more difficult, more demanding. And it's probably a bit different for a midfielder, a defender, goalkeeper, for example, the striker sometimes. But for a winger, it's possible. At the minute, it's more or less the idea we have.
Luciano, the coaching team, Luciano obviously left earlier this year. At that stage, you opted against replacing him. Do you expect to make changes to your coaching staff in the summer?
At the minute, no, because I think we are really well connected. Is it for the ideas and the way of working? And the evolution of the staff went really well the last 4, 5, 6 months. It's connected with the evolution of the squad as well. So I'm really pleased with that. If it's possible to improve some areas, we'll do it. But at the minute, I'm really pleased. Yeah.
Sorry, just one last one. Obviously, you've been asked about the awards, the nomination, and how much Sunderland have overachieved this season. Do you think you deserve to win it?
Oh, I don't think so. It's going to be hard, because if you look at the other managers, I think the final position of your team, if you win the Champions League, the league, I think you deserve recognition. So it's good to be recognized like this, but we have to stay humble as well. And I'm really pleased to be in that bracket. But after that, I think others will have the final reward. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just kind of looking at the United game a little bit, obviously I think a few people have kind of agreed that all that was missing was a couple of goals from yourselves. Just how do you kind of like encourage that instinct in front of goal, especially maybe from players who don't quite often find themselves there? Because it seemed like everybody was kind of in and around goal during that game on Saturday.
Yeah, Noah had 2 chances, I think. Brian 2 as well. Shamsin 1. Who was the last one? For the 6th.
Traoré had the one that
Who?
hit the post.
Yes.
Lucha was the 6th. Yeah. So 4 different players, and I spoke with Noah about this topic, and so it's an evolution. For Noah, for example, inexperience in the Premier League. So the first part of the season, we saw his qualities, his ability to run everywhere, to be skilled on the ball as well. But he learned different topics in our game model, improved a lot, and going further in the league and with more experiences, we adjusted his position on the pitch, less on wide areas, more central, and I think it creates for him a new layer and the opportunity to be involved in chances. So first step, now the second step is to score, and if he is able to do that, he will be a great player. So it's an example, and it's the case for everyone. Obviously the finishing skills, it's like a goalkeeper. It's influence the games in such an important way that it's a game changer, like I said just before. So it's an important skill to improve. Yeah.
And you kind of mentioned in an answer before that you perhaps don't potentially know the potential within your team until you reach the end of the season. I guess it kind of follows on from that point a little bit. Are you excited about where this team can go for next year?
Yeah, I am, because we evolved so much this season, and I still feel that we have many areas to exploit, that I'm really excited by the next challenges ahead. And if it's possible to adjust with 2 or 3 positions the level of competition and the level of high put, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah.